wire before the Chi-Com virus problem took off so bad in this country. I prefer to call it Chi-Com, the Chinese Communist Party virus. I don't think it's fair to the Chinese people to call it the China virus, even though it started in China. I found this at the train show. I don't know who made it. I didn't pay much for it. It says $1, but I probably paid $0.25. But it looked nice on the American Flyer or Marx layout. Got a couple more Lionel billboards for my billboard collection. Always like to find those. I don't think we're going to have train shows this summer. If we did, the next one in Melbourne is June 6th, and the one in Tallahassee is towards the end of June, but I'm pretty certain they're not going to happen. I hope they do. Now, I got these for $5 a piece. I don't know if I'm going to leave them like they are for static display, or if I'm going to try to put a motor in them. But I think they're pretty neat. This is the San Francisco lithographed tin cable car. This is not a trolley. There's no trolley on top. Gripper that gripped the cable in a slot in the road. This is another cable car. They used to have these in a lot of cities, but I guess San Francisco is the only one left. I like them a lot. They'll make a nice static display if nothing else. Well, I got more from the train show and also from Ernie's hobby shop in Melbourne. I can't remember which came from what. This is a Marx junker for parts. It's a little 6-inch, what's left of a Searchlight car. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. It does have a pickup on the bottom that might come in handy. Haffner, if I can figure out how to put a Marx motor in there. Little old Haffner. This one was a wind-up with a ringing bell. You can see the bell, and you can see where the key slot was. And there was where the stop-start thing went. This is just a load. A nice-looking pile of sticks, which I got for scenery on the layout. Wind-up motor, which may or not work. I think it goes with a Haffner, and I may try to see if I can get it to work, and if I can, I think I'll just leave it in there. This is a Lionel motor off of something. It has the nice-looking drivers. I think I paid 50 cents for this at the Melbourne Train Show. I'm always glad to get something like that for parts. Appears to be a Marx tree. I like to paint these and try to make them look more realistic. You'll see them around different locations on my layout. Little Tootsie Toy trailer. Probably had a boat on it or something. I like to have these on the layout with different loads. This is a Lionel. It's not a whistling tender. It never had a whistle in it. It has the air vents and things. But I like to use these with things like the Marx Commodore Vanderbilt, because they're pretty much match the width of the Mercuries and the Vanderbilts. A pantograph for a future project. I don't know what, if I ever need one though. Here's a Lionel reverse unit that might come in handy. Ernie had a lot of stuff he was trying to sell. I like to buy junkers like this with some missing wheels. That'll look good in my junkyard. Now look at the size of this geared wheel. It was probably off a standard gauge steam engine. There's the gear on the back. Possibly Lionel, possibly Marx. I've got it if anybody needs it. And then I got some pre-war Lionel wheels. A gear for a Lionel. This one's a little crazed, but these three are good. So these parts will all come in handy. Now I think that's quite a haul. A lot of this stuff, there's just boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of this stuff at Ernie's hobby shop, as long as he stays open. And I have a feeling that he may not stay open. I'm not sure. He was talking about closing, but I don't know. If he does, we'll miss it. But if you're, I guess you can't go there now because of the virus, but if you could, well, got all kinds of great stuff. I went to a Goodwill in Sarasota. I had to go to Sarasota for medical treatment. And just a short distance away from where I had to be was this Goodwill. And my wife likes to go through Goodwill stores. Found this there for $10. battery operated North Pole Express. Now, why did I buy this? Well, I hope, and I don't know, but I hope, well, it's taped shut, but I hope, that's tough tape on there. My hope is I'll be able to put a Marx motor in it and run it on my Lionel train layout, because the track gauge looks about right. Yep, it's just about the same gauge, or it is the same gauge. And I don't know who made this. EZTEC, Ease Tech. You can see it's not very well packed. Came with some telephone poles, some telephone pole bases, and some other little odds and ends in this sealed bag. I guess it's probably never been used. Yeah, these are little signs, kind of like the Marx signs. Here's the locomotive, and this thing just might be adaptable for a Marx motor to fit in there. You see, that's the correct gauge. I do have these two North Pole Express passenger cars, and I think that'll look pretty nice running behind a Marx locomotive. Just to go with this set, I may put better trucks on it, couplers and all that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but that's for the future. But it is the right size and gauge, which makes me happy. Well, we're still going through stuff I picked up in Melbourne. Got this at an antique store. It says Nickel Plate Road, Rivarossi, made in Italy. I have a Lionel HO steam engine with no tender. I thought maybe I can adapt that and use it with my Lionel. And then at Ernie's, I found this wonderful die-cast tender. See these steps? It's missing the steps in the back corner, but I can live with that. I have a plan for this because I have a 226 project locomotive that has no tender, and so I hope to fix that up and use it instead. So that completes all the goodies from the Melbourne area, from antique stores, from Ernie's, and from the train show. This is my Lionel HO steam locomotive that I picked up at an antique store. No tender, and it's not running. I have to try to figure out why it's not running. I found this HO tender, Indiana Harbor Belt, which I might use. But then I also found this one, which I think looks better with the Hudson, Nickel Plate Road, so I might use that one. Or who knows, I might find an even better tender before we're done. We'll see. Future project.